Elias Ward had always believed that hard work could solve almost anything. But that belief had been shaken during the long, unforgiving months of drought that hit Dustwood Valley. His pastures dried into cracked earth, feed prices rose higher than he could afford, and his last dairy cow had fallen sick beyond saving. He had grown up on that ranch, learned every fence post and creek bend by heart. Yet for the first time in his life, he wondered if he was about to lose the one place that meant everything to him. The livestock market wasn't where miracles usually happened. But he went anyway, more out of stubbornness than hope. Sellers shouted prices. Buyers inspected animals with sharp eyes, and dust floated through the air like fine smoke. Elias wandered through the rows, trying not to let the discouragement show on his face. Every healthy cow cost far more than he could pay. He was about to turn back when he noticed a woman standing near a small covered wagon. She didn't look like anyone from Dustwood. Her clothes were tailored, her posture confident, and her expression calm in a way that didn't match the chaos around her. She seemed to be observing the market rather than participating in it. Their eyes met briefly, and she approached him with a steady, purposeful walk. "You're looking for a milk cow," she said. It wasn't a question. Her voice was level, almost too calm for such a noisy place. "Yes," Elias answered, unsure how she knew. "I have one," she said simply. "Healthy, trained, and ready to work." She paused before adding something unexpected. "And I'm willing to give her to you in exchange for something I need." Elias waited, cautious but curious. "I need a place to stay long-term," the woman continued. "Somewhere quiet, away from attention. I'm offering a marriage of convenience, nothing more. In return, the cow will be yours." The words hit Elias harder than he expected. Marriage to a stranger. Dustwood would talk for months, but as he looked at her, he sensed she wasn't playing games. There was a seriousness in her eyes, like someone carrying concerns far heavier than a simple move from town to town. He didn't answer right away. He went home, thought through the night, weighed every possibility. By morning, he realized that although he didn't fully understand her, he believed her. And so, under a quiet sky and the whispers of a watching town, Elias Ward married Mariel Rivers, setting in motion a partnership, built not on love or trust yet, but on necessity, mystery, and a promise neither of them fully understood. Day after the quiet wedding, Elias guided Mariel toward the ranch house, unsure what kind of life they were stepping into together. The sun was dipping behind the hills, turning the sky a soft orange, and for a moment the ranch looked almost peaceful, something Elias hadn't felt in months. He hoped Mariel might see it the same way. Mariel walked slowly, observing everything carefully, the weathered barn, the wooden fences, the modest house built by Elias's father years ago. She didn't seem bothered by the simplicity, but she also didn't seem fully at ease. She carried herself as if she were still waiting for something to go wrong. Inside, Elias showed her the kitchen, the pantry, the fireplace that crackled even in warmer months because the nights could get cold. Mariel thanked him politely, her voice calm but distant. He could sense walls around her, walls she had built long before she met him. When night arrived, Elias tried to be respectful and straightforward. "I set up the guest room for myself," he told her. "You can take the bedroom. I figured that might be more comfortable." Mariel didn't nod or smile. She simply walked to the bedroom door, stepped inside, and gently locked it. The click of the lock was soft, but it echoed in Elias's chest like something final, not because he expected anything else, but because the message was clear. She wasn't just being cautious, she was afraid of something. Elias didn't knock or question her decision. Instead, he went to the guest room, sat on the edge of the bed, and stared at the small lamp casting warm light on the wall. He had married a stranger for the sake of survival, but he realized now that she needed something from him too. Perhaps safety, perhaps distance, or perhaps simply time. Hours passed, and Elias drifted in and out of sleep. In the quiet of the night, he heard Mariel's footsteps pacing softly behind the locked door. At first, he thought he was imagining it, but the movement was too steady, too nervous. She wasn't sleeping. She was awake, unsettled, maybe even frightened. Elias didn't know her reasons, But he felt certain she wasn't trying to shut him out because she disliked him. There was something deeper driving her. Before dawn, her pacing finally stopped. Silence filled the house again. Elias lay awake, understanding one thing clearly: whatever secrets she carried, they weighed heavily on her, and earning her trust would take patience, gentleness, and more time than either of them expected. Morning light crept slowly across Dustwood Ranch, brushing the fields with soft gold. Elias rose early, expecting to find the house quiet and still. Instead, when he stepped outside, he found Marielle already in the yard with the new cow. She moved with surprising skill, measuring feed, checking hooves, brushing the animal with practiced strokes. It was the first time Elias saw her look almost relaxed. The tension in her posture had eased just a little, as if the simple routine of caring for an animal grounded her. Elias didn't interrupt. He watched from a distance, noticing how focused she was and how gently the cow responded to her. For someone who had arrived in Dustwood with a guarded expression and mystery in her eyes, she seemed to understand ranch work far more than he expected. It made him wonder where she came from, what kind of life she lived before crossing his path. Later, Elias spent the morning repairing a broken fence near the east pasture. The air was quiet except for the wind, until he noticed someone walking along the dirt road, a man dressed in a dark coat despite the warm weather. He strode with the confidence of someone who didn't care who noticed him. Elias didn't recognize him as a local. The man slowed when he spotted Marielle near the barn. His expression changed, his shoulders stiffened, his gaze sharpened, almost startled. Marielle turned at the same moment, and for an instant her face lost all color. She didn't call out, didn't wave, didn't acknowledge him at all. She simply turned and hurried toward the house. The man hesitated, looked around as if deciding whether to approach, then abruptly turned back toward town. Elias watched quietly, unease spreading through him. When he returned to the house a few minutes later, he heard the familiar sound he had heard the night before, the soft click of the master bedroom door locking. He approached gently. "Marielle," he said, not forcing his voice, "I saw someone pass by. You look startled. Is everything all right?" There was a pause, the kind that held more meaning than words. Finally, her voice came through the door, low and strained. "I didn't expect to see anyone from before. Please don't worry about it." Elias leaned against the wall beside the door, not trying to open it. "I won't push you," he said quietly. "But you don't have to deal with things alone." "Not here." He heard her breath catch, a faint, fragile sound. She didn't open the door, but something in her tone softened. "Thank you, Elias," she whispered. "I just need time." Elias stepped back, understanding that whatever shadows followed her were real and closer than he had imagined. But for the first time, it felt like she was beginning to trust him, even if only by a single careful step.